Everyone, how are you doing today? Today is Thursday. Do these daily shows a little bit late on Thursday because I do my expert series with Jonathan Twomley every Thursday at 7 a.m. So these typically are about 8 on Thursday. And today we have to come out and talk about the new unemployment claims to start off. I believe I put the over under yesterday at 4.1. Might have been 4.2. I forget. Either way, I was wrong as I took the under. The majority of you did take the over. So congratulations, and I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. 4.4 million new claims, totaling roughly 26 million. We have lost all of our job gains since the Great Recession, and it doesn't feel good. It does not feel good to see that. Again, looking for the silver lining, we do continue our negative trend, which means we peaked at 6.9 and we are working our way down. My hope is this continues and we're somewhere, yes, late today. Thursdays, I'll always be late. Got my interview with Jonathan at 7 a.m., so these start a little bit late. But again, hopefully the trend continues. Where next week we're somewhere in the threes, or maybe we get real lucky and we're in the high twos. But we are going to continue this down, and then eventually we will hit the bottom and we will come back. We need to put this in context just so, if you don't know, these are kind of the numbers that happened at the peak of the Great Depression. Unemployment claim or unemployed peaked at 25% in the Great Depression. Economic output fell 15%, right? The worldwide, that was the worldwide number, fell 15%. I think there's every chance we eclipse both those numbers. I think we definitely eclipse Q2 is going to have a negative number on it, probably in the high twos, probably the low threes, meaning 30%, not 3, but 30. I think there's every chance that Q2 is just an abomination. We're seeing pretty bad numbers from across the board. Unemployment could definitely hit that. Some people did some back of the napkin calculations on unemployment and says the implied number is about 17 and a half as of today. But we are going to have one more number print next week before the end of the month. And we're going to go forward. There's been a lot of talk about this recovery. I think there's a general impression that the hope for a V-shaped question is not going to happen. It depends. There's a question I got about equity in a house. It depends on where your house is. I don't recall what city or what location you're in. I think I'm on record as saying most of the country won't see price deterioration. If there is, it'll be slight, small single digits. However, I'm also on record saying there are some very high-end markets: New York, Bay Area, LA, Vegas. I think in South Carolina, Columbia, I think you're going to, I think you'll be fine. Again, understand, I've never looked for real estate in South Carolina. So if you're a very high priced market and I just don't know about it, be careful. But again, I think 90% of the U.S. is fine. I don't think there's going to be great price deterioration in most cities. But back to the economy and the recovery, I think the V-shaped recovery is off. There's talk about, hey, maybe it's a V-shape, but the right side is smaller. Should I consider moving from my house right now? Dwight, I don't. There's not enough information in that question for me to answer it with anything but a guess. Good morning, Josh. I don't believe in giving malpractice advice. We need to know a lot more about what's going on. Equity position. Where would you go? Are you trading down? Moving cities? There's so many questions to ask. I generally talk about investment properties. I think the primary or owner-occupant market there's so many other factors that really don't apply to investments. Like, my kids, I want to grow up here. I'm close to my favorite barber shop. I mean, I don't generally give opinions on owner-occupant stuff because there's so many other calculations that it'd be malpractice for me to give anybody advice. But back to the economy, I think V is off the table. I think U is talked a lot about the U-shaped recovery. I actually believe the first one that I've seen that I kind of feels good is the Nike swoosh. Have you heard this one? Right, fast down and then just a slow kind of uptick. That's the best example of what I'm thinking of. Unemployment's going to go up. I think each quarter, right? Once we get to the bottom, each quarter is better than the last quarter. I just unfortunately think it's going to take 8, 10, 12 quarters to get us back to where we were. So hence the noticeably uptrend, just not as high as either of us would like. That's what I think is going to happen. Not sure if you saw this, but Gap, it's a San Francisco-based company, I believe. Gap, Gap jeans. They sell clothes. They warned today that they don't have enough cash. That's not good. So they're going to stop paying rent. I suppose they are actively looking for private equity to come and invest. They will try to raise debt. I just don't know what their credit worthiness is. But once again, a retailer that could quickly be out of business. And again, not having cash, that'll turn off the oxygen pretty quick. Expedia, we talked about them, I want to say 2 weeks ago, more specifically about Expedia not spending $5 billion on ads. And I kind of daisy chained that together to Facebook, Google, and Twitter being your ad rates are going to suck and you're going to be in trouble. And where's the pre-announcement? But Expedia is going out and raising $3.2 billion to get to the other side of this. Again, just another company going out. Back to this whole balance sheet recession when we come out of this. There are so many companies taking on debt that the expansion, by its very nature, just has to be slower as you're paying back debt. Domino's Pizza came out and had a great earnings announcement. Clearly, Domino's and Chipotle are crushing it in this environment. Yeah, 2.66%. Wow, that's the lowest mortgage rate I've seen. So again, Domino's Pizza and Chipotle are killing it. Lots of takeout orders. Domino's had a rise of 7.1%. Yeah, maybe Apple could be over 350 by the end of the year. Maybe. Could be under 200 too. Could be. But Domino's Pizza, again, 7.1%. And that was a April number. That's important. A lot of people are reporting Q1 or March numbers. Domino's Pizza gave us in their conference call, we are up 7.1% in April. That's a meaningful number, right? We are in this thing in April. So people are ordering Domino's Pizza. Again, Chipotle is up as well, they reported. One thing I saw that I would love to get your opinion on, if you were a college freshman right now and you were, supposed to go to university XYZ and you can't now, what do? Right? Do you continue to learn on Zoom calls and over the web, or do you take a gap year? I mean, this is a serious question. I mean, thankfully my daughter's out of college at this point, but I know that I wouldn't want to be spending, what was it, 50 grand a year for her to study in her bedroom. I would tell her to take a gap year. I think this is real consideration. I think education sees a difference on the other side of this. But yeah, what would you do if you were a college freshman? Would you take a gap year, or would you just power through and try to get on the other side of this? I just didn't know. Saw that our president disagrees with Georgia's governor, right? I did a video, I think it was Monday, talking about, hey, Georgia's going to open up on Friday and then open up on Monday, different businesses. Looks like our president's saying don't necessarily agree. I think he's not agreeing with the order. I think he had exceptions with tattoo parlors and other things. So, we still have to wish Georgia well. So it's interesting. Maybe the order could be different. Absolutely. I think in my talk of Georgia, we talked about maybe not understanding some of those choices, giving contact is required, but who knows? Leon Cooperman, another billionaire, out talking today about basically something we've talked about on this channel is taxes have to go up. Something on the other side of this, the tax, not only taxes have to go up percentage-wise, but some of the tax benefits we have seen are going to be on the table. We are going to have to pay for this debt, this investment in keeping the American economy going with higher taxes and the elimination of other taxes. So these are things that are coming that will have impact in stocks and in real estate, for example. New home sales had a terrible number, but again, please understand this is a March number. New home sales were down 15.4%. My guess is they're down 50 or 60% in April. March was normal for half the month. So again, new home sales reporting a drop of 15.4% is going to be interesting. Yes, not only taxes going up, but inflation will come. I think I did a video a little bit ago. I think we have a year or two of deflation. Then inflation catches hold, and we have several years of inflation, probably higher than we want, plus higher taxes, which make it an interesting combination. Target had some interesting. Target had a really odd call. I read the announcement. The numbers were pretty good. They did say that the profit mix is off, meaning clothing is not as profitable as it used to be, but groceries is up. But they're doing a lot more delivery to cars. They basically talked about Cyber Monday every day. Um, there you go. Lots of construction. Tell you, this is what happens when you look at your market every day. So again, Target talked about it. I thought their CEO was pretty negative. I don't. I first time I watched him kind of or heard him on a conference call. Um, I thought he was negative. I didn't really understand. Right? Target is winning today. Right? People are ordering and picking up in their cars. Now that's a different cost model. I think what Target needs to do is appreciate that they are winning, and um, what they need to do is raise pricing. I think part of this is going to be retail needs to change, and the service of having somebody go in the store, pick up the items, and walk it to the car. You need to charge for that, and you don't need to eat profit by doing that service that is liked. So, Target, tell your CEO to stop being so negative. That was odd. Of course, Amazon got upgraded again. I mean, who's not upgrading Amazon today? Uh, there's a very good chance that probably sometime this week or next that Amazon will be the most valued company. As of my notes this morning, they were second to Apple, but they are knocking on the door of being the most valuable at $1.2 trillion going on. So, again, that's what I got for you today. Again, unemployment 4.4. Everybody who took the over, congrats. I don't know about next week. I'll think about next week here in a minute. Yeah, college students online course, definitely. So, all right, everybody, I enjoy this. I am uploading Jonathan Twomley's interview right now. It's about 45 minutes in duration. We talk about what's going on today, what's going on in the market, how the risk premium is changing for syndications, what we're doing in A class, B class, C class. There's lots in that conversation. I think we almost went an hour today, hence the late start here. So, everybody have a wonderful day. Let's hope for better news tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Bye.